Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Appa in case you guys are new here, and I apologize that my hair might seem a little bit weird because the fan is right in front of me, and talking of the fan, you might even hear it when I'm filming this video, but it's just gonna have to be that way this summer because there's no AC in this apartment. I don't want to purchase an AC because summers in the Midwest are really short, and I just have to move out of this apartment in like 2 years, so I'm not really interested in getting an AC, you know what I mean? So yeah, we're just gonna have to deal with it this summer. Of course, during the fall time, I'm gonna go back to where I usually film, but for the time being, this is going to be the filming setup. So today I have a will I buy it or not eyeshadow video, and a lot of people have done this type of video. Whenever new makeup comes out, they go on to Trend Moods, they see it and they're like, ooh, do I want it, do I not want it, and I think this is a fun concept because it kind of keeps you in check with your makeup collection. And I know being an influencer, being like a makeup lover, it can be very stressful for people to see all these things, and you're like, do I really want to spend the money and stuff like that. So I'm doing this with affordable eyeshadows only. These are not all brand new products, but these are some of the eyeshadows that I have been eyeing for the past couple of days, and I thought it would be a little bit fun and a little bit unique because I don't think I've ever done a video like this on my channel because I've been doing a lot of Bath and Body Works videos. So let's just go ahead and get started. I have a couple of eyeshadows from Amazon, so we're gonna go through those. Some from AliExpress, and the others are from Makeup Revolution and Ulta. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. Okay, you guys, so the first eyeshadow palette that I have here for you is by Beauty Creations, and it's their Espresso palette. I'm looking down because I have my notes here, and this one is very unique looking. The packaging at least is very unique looking, and there are two different kinds. There's one very neutral and the other one is not as neutral, and I'm going more with the pinky one because I have so many neutral palettes. I feel like I want to try something new from them. And I do have another Beauty Creations palette, which is the Tease Me palette, I believe, and I really like that palette as well, so I want to give this one a try. I don't exactly know when it's gonna come back on stock. I might have to really hunt down on AliExpress, I don't really know, but if it does come on stock or back on stock, then I do want to give this one a try. Again, that's the Espresso palette, and I've not really heard reviews about it. Like, I've seen reviews on YouTube, but they're all in Spanish and they all seem to be very happy about it, so I don't really know if it's a good or a bad palette. But given the palette that I have from Beauty Creations, I think the quality might be similar, so I will be willing to give the pinky one a try at least. The next eyeshadow palette that I have here for you is from a brand called Puder. I don't exactly know how to pronounce it, but this does retail for $15 or $14.99, my bad. And this one looks very different in the sense that I feel like I might have the colors in different palettes, and all of these different palettes are like combined together, if I'm making any sense. I have never heard of this brand. I just found it on Amazon, and like I said, I do want to use some Amazon eyeshadows just to see their quality because I hear so much about them, and I think it would be like a cool idea here on my channel to try out some Amazon palettes. I do have 2 Amazon palettes in my collection. I still have to try those out. I may be doing a video here in the future just testing it out because I have not applied those on my eyes at all because I have so many eyeshadows that I'm working on. But regardless, I think if the price goes down for this one, and this is in the black packaging, I should have mentioned, you guys will see it when I put the picture, And yeah, I think I will be wanting to give this one a try as well, but it would have to go on sale. Like, I would like to see it go under $10, then I would be wanting to give this one a shot. So right now it's $14.99, but if it goes cheaper than that, then I'm willing to give it a try. The next palette that I have here for you is something that you can actually find on AliExpress, and honestly it might even be cheaper on AliExpress. And also the other Puder eyeshadow palette that I showed you before this, that is something you can also find on AliExpress. And right now I think AliExpress doesn't have it, because I'm looking here and it seems like they don't have it, but I feel like they will come back on stock with it. Anyways, this is the You Can Be 18 Colors Aromas New Nudes palette, and a lot of people have raved about this. I really want to give this one a try, so this is a definite yes for me. This is the dead-on dupe for the Huda Nude palette, and yeah, I think I would really like it. And I can probably, you know, insert the actual Huda and the aromas side by side, so you can kind of see why they're calling it a nude, or sorry, a dupe. But I do want to give this one a try. Currently it is $6 on AliExpress, so that's pretty affordable, so I do want to give that one a try for sure. The next one is by a brand called Doe Color, and it is their, what is it? The Earths palette. I think that's what it's called. Let me just double check, you guys. The Natural Earth palette. Yes. So again, it is giving me a little bit of the modern Renaissance vibe when I look at it. So I might have to think about this one a little bit more. Again, because it is $12.99 and it is an Amazon palette, and the packaging is kind of pretty. I'm really tempted to try this one as well, but I think I'm gonna go with a maybe for this one. I'm not quite sure, and again, I feel like I will wait for the price to drop a little bit more, so this one is a maybe. So I think those are all my Amazon palettes. Now I'm gonna strictly move on to AliExpress. I only have one waiting in AliExpress. I think You Can Be Aromas, you know, I already talked about that. Pretty sure I'm getting that one, so yeah. Anyways, the next one is the Focalors Impressionism palette, I believe, and this is a dupe of one of the higher end eyeshadow palettes as well. It is by Natasha Denona. It's one of their all matte eyeshadow palette. I will put the name of it down below, or when I edit this video, and put it side by side just so you guys can see. This does retail for $9.59 at the moment, but I feel like it might even drop much more than that, so I think I'll wait on it. And I saw a couple of videos on YouTube like talking about it and doing like a demo, and it seemed like it was pretty good. So because it is more on the affordable side, and Focalor eyeshadow palettes have been raved about on YouTube by a lot of people who like are into AliExpress makeup, I do want to give this one a shot. I wanted to try their other eyeshadow palettes, but I feel like I have the Bad Habit dupes already, and some of the other eyeshadow palettes from Focalor, they are also similar to Bad Habit palettes, so that's why I didn't want to try any other palettes from, you know, Focalor, but I do want to try this Impressionism palette. So we're done with, you know, Amazon and AliExpress, and now I am moving on to my very favorite brand, Makeup Revolution. So the first eyeshadow that I have from Makeup Revolution here is the Revolution X Dana eyeshadow palette. This one does not have a single review on the website, but it does have a couple of reviews on YouTube, and so far people have been impressed with this palette. But you guys, when I looked at this palette, I'm like, oh my gosh, these colors are really, really pretty. However, I felt like I had something similar already, and I will show it to you guys in a little bit. And that is the Profusion's Infatuation palette. Just by looking at this, and I'm gonna, you know, include the picture of the other eyeshadow. Just by looking at this, I'm just thinking that a lot of the colors are very, very similar, especially like the pinky ones. Yes, not so much. Well, actually, I'm looking at it right now, and even the purples are a little bit similar. So, will I purchase this eyeshadow palette? Probably not. It does retail for $15, so it is, you know, fairly affordable, but probably not, because I already have Profusion's Infatuation, and this is a pretty good eyeshadow palette. Profusion Cosmetics in general, with their eyeshadows, they don't really disappoint me. So most likely will not purchase Dana eyeshadow. I believe Dana is a makeup artist from the Middle East. I don't really know if she has a YouTube channel or not. I don't think I have ever seen her on YouTube, to be honest, but that could be because, you know, I don't really live in the Middle East and follow Middle Eastern makeup artists, but she is a makeup artist that I know for sure. And yeah, unfortunately, because I already have, you know, a similar color story going on, I most likely will not repurchase or purchase that one. I keep saying repurchase, I don't know why. I think I'm really used to saying that because of my empties videos, so that's probably why I just keep saying it. And the next eyeshadow from Makeup Revolution is the Revolution Reloaded Provocative palette. Now, this one, my mom is in London right now, and I really want her to go to Primark or some Superdrug or something to already get this palette for me, because you guys, this is the dead-on dupe for the Naked Cherry palette, and I've been wanting a dead-on dupe for the Naked Cherry palette. It does retail for $7. I'll post a picture on Pinterest that I found comparing the Provocative palette versus the Naked Cherry. I know a lot of people are not really talking about Naked Cherry because there's so many other eyeshadows, but the color story just speaks to me. I love pinky shadows, and I love like deeper burgundy colors, so I most likely will get it because it is a pretty affordable dupe for the Naked Cherry. I know at the drugstore they also have one eyeshadow palette from Rimmel London, I think, and that one, from my understanding, is not a dead-on dupe, whereas this one is. And we all know that Makeup Revolution comes out with dupes. I know some people are like really against dupe, but there's dupe of everything, you guys. There's dupe at Aldi's. If you go to Aldi's, you will find so many dupes of what can be found at Walmart, and it's like 10 times more affordable. And just, you know, as a student, I feel like dupe palettes, they don't really matter to me. So yeah, I will most likely get that palette for sure. Okay, moving to more Makeup Revolution palettes, another reloaded palette, which is the Neutrals 3. Now, I had been eyeing this one for a really, really long time, and I think I got introduced to this palette when, I forgot her, Andrea Lee, yes, Andrea Lee, she talked about it as one of the best fall palettes. And you guys, the color story is really, really fall appropriate, I think, and I love fall. So I most likely will be getting this because I'm interested in trying these reloaded palettes, and I actually already have one of the reloaded palettes. I have the Velvet Rose, which is the dupe of one of the ABH's palette. I will post the name of it, but I don't think this one is duping anything like the other one, which was duping the Naked Cherry. But yes, because of the color story, because of the burgundy, the purple that I see, the plum color that I see, a lot of good warm tones, I will most likely get this palette as well. So Makeup Revolution, if you guys are not familiar with them, they like release an eyeshadow palette like every freaking week. And I'm a big fan of Makeup Revolution. Like, if you have watched my eyeshadow palette collection / declutter video, they release palettes a lot, and it's so tempting to like try every single palette that they release, but I try my best to just control myself because it can be very tempting to like get their palettes. So I absolutely love Makeup Revolution. I know people are into ColourPop, but I feel like a lot of the palettes that ColourPop releases, like I already have a lot of similar color range. I've never tried their eyeshadow palettes. I have tried their liquid lipsticks and I do really like them. However, just because, you know, everyone kind of raves about them, I try not to get too much into it because I know a lot of the color story that they release, I just have it in my collection, most of them anyways. So yeah, one of the Makeup Revolution palettes that I have here is the Revolution Wild Animal Fierce palette. Now, the outside of this packaging is just not my jam. Like, it's not screaming Appa, it's not really screaming my style, my personality. I'm definitely more floral and, you know, girly, and this doesn't really scream girly to me. Sometimes I just like plain sleek packaging, and I'm not liking this tiger print. I'm sorry guys if any of you actually like this the outside, but I'm not really liking it. And the inside is pretty, but it just reminds me of the Morphe 3502 that I have and I bought a while ago. And it just, if you have this palette, I don't think you need another like orangey tone palette, and a lot of the colors in this other palette is screaming, you know, orangey to me. So they just have a lot of oranges, I feel like. So I most likely will not get this one, and it could be that they're duping. Like, you know, Makeup Revolution is known for creating dupes, so I'm pretty sure they're trying to dupe Morphe. I think they already have an actual dupe of like one of the Morphe palettes that looks like this, but I could be totally wrong on that. But yeah, I think they have like another orangey palette which has a similar packaging like this as well, but I most likely will not get it. And the second one from Makeup Revolution, okay, this one was calling my name. I really was like, oh my gosh, I think I want this, I want this, I want this. And then I thought about it, and then I found another eyeshadow palette in my collection, and that is again from Morphe, and this is the 35F, which is the Fallen Frost palette, I believe. And just by looking at it, you know, you can tell it's similar, and yeah, I most likely will just not get it. I mean, the colors inside are very pretty. The packaging on this one is a little bit more decent. I feel like I could deal with the packaging on this one. However, I'm just not really wanting another eyeshadow palette which reminds me of, you know, the Morphe one, because Morphe eyeshadow palettes are really, really good quality, and I just don't feel the need to have this other one. So this is a no-go for me. There were a couple of collab palettes which really, really, I mean really called my name, and I don't know. Even though I don't know these people, I was just like, oh my gosh, that's a pretty palette, that's a pretty palette. Let me just give that one a shot. But let's just think about it a little bit, okay? So the first collab palette that I have here is by Roxy, and I think Roxy is another YouTuber, English YouTuber, and she announced it on her channel, I believe. I don't really follow her, but I follow like the Makeup Revolution channel, and I saw her intro video on there. And even though this palette is really, really pretty and I really like the packaging of it, I just feel like I have a lot of neutral colors. Like, a lot of these colors are neutral, and there are some pops of colors, but I feel like I just have a lot of colors like this, and I don't really know if I would be using that blue eyeshadow color that I'm seeing. So this is also going to be a no-go for me. So I also had been eyeing another collab palette, and this is by Rachel Leary, and it's the Goddess on the Go palette. I really like the idea of this palette. I definitely think this is a really good travel friendly palette because you get a bronzer, you get a highlighter, you get all these pretty warm tone colors, which, you know, if you're a warm tone lover, you could probably use them on an everyday basis and with the pop of red in the middle. But again, I feel like I don't really need, you know, another like warm tone palette which has all these orangey and yellow colors. Plus that bronzer, I don't really know if that bronzer would really show up on my skin tones. I most likely will not get the on the go. And then I was also eyeing the Ultimate Goddess one, which is the larger palette that she came out with. And this one, you know, the color story is a little bit unique, but if I minus the blue, I feel like I already have some of those other colors, if that makes any sense, you know. But I do like the idea of like having the bronzer and all of the, I think it's bronzer and highlighters on the left or right hand side, the larger cubes that you see. And I'm not quite sure what they are, but I really like the idea of having all those big products on the side while having the eyeshadows on the side. But again, yeah, just because the eyeshadows are not really speaking to me, I don't think I would get this palette as well. I know, so much Makeup Revolution where I'm like, I don't really know, but that's why I'm doing this video, you guys. And I eyed another palette which looked exactly like the Huda dupe, and this is called the Neutral Shadow. So Revolution Pro New Neutral Shadow Palette. Retails for $20. Again, it has that animal print going on, but because it's like gold and just simple, it looks better than the other one, the tiger one that I showed you. And this one again is duping, you know, the Huda palette. I feel like this is a little bit warmer than the Huda palette if I compare the both side by side, but because I'm already getting, you know, the AliExpress one, I probably will not purchase this one as well. So I think, you guys, I covered all my Makeup Revolution palettes. Moving on to some Essence palettes and then one e.l.f. palette. So Essence just came out with this travel palette line, and I was eyeing two of them, the Salute Paris eyeshadow and also the Ola Rio eyeshadow palette. Now I feel like the Salute Paris one, you know, the packaging obviously is gorgeous, but I'm not quite sure if it would really show up on my skin tone, to be honest. Like some of those like really light shades, I really just don't know if they would work for my skin tone, so I think I'm gonna pass on that one. I do wanna try the other one, I think. Let me just pull it up here and I'll pop up the picture of it. And this is the Ola Rio eyeshadow palette, and this one, you know, I feel like I could use a little bit more. It is definitely a little bit darker than the other one because I think the Paris one was more cool tone, but I feel like these colors would show up on me a little bit more than some of the other ones, because that one had like 3 pastel shades where I was like, I don't really know if it would show up on me. So if this palette does go on sale, I most likely will get it and would like to try out the formula. And the last palette that I have for you is this one from e.l.f. It's the Rose Gold eyeshadow palette in Sunset, and I just feel like, you know, I really want to try it, but at the same time, I just have this feeling. I have a palette from Makeup Revolution which has similar color story, and it's a lot of gold and bronze and, you know, bronze pink. I feel like I have something like this already. This is also going to be a no-go for me, unfortunately. So I hope you guys like this video. I know I was looking down a lot, but that is all the eyeshadow palettes I think I was eyeing. I think this is going to be a long video and it's gonna involve a lot of editing, but I really enjoyed doing this video, and maybe I'll do another one here in the coming future when more eyeshadow palettes are released. I know I've heard rumors, that, you know, Bad Habit is coming back as Alter Ego Cosmetics. I don't know how true that is. Their websites do look a little bit similar to me, so there is a possibility that Alter Ego is the new Bad Habit company. So we'll see if they actually do come out with more dupe palettes. I don't know what eyeshadow palette will be released in the next coming year or so. So that is all, you guys, that I have for you. Please keep in mind that I'm not gonna buy these eyeshadows all at once. Of course, I'm gonna spread it out over the semester, next semester, or over the year, because I don't need to buy all of them at once. So just keep that in mind. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. I know this was new and a little bit different than what I've done in the past, so thank you so much for sitting through this, and talk to you guys later. Bye.